Hello everybody, welcome back to the holiday card series. Today I'm using Holiday Helpers by Lawn Fawn, and I'm actually going to be making two cards today. I'll tell you a little bit about the inspiration once we get going. First, I'm going to color up the images. So I colored a number of the images one night because there's a lot of them on these cards, but I wanted to show you the coloring of these two little elves because all of the colors that I'm using today are used in these two little cuties. So I'm coloring up one of the elves with greens and reds. So this is going to be for the traditional Christmas color card that I'm going to do. The little boy elf I'm going to color up in some purple colors and some teal colors, and that's going to be for the non-traditional color card that I'm going to be using. So for the little elf here in the purples, I'm using my BV markers. So this is like almost like a bubblegum purple color. And then I'm going to accent him with some aqua colors, which are the BG markers. And I'm just going to use two colors for the aqua color and do a little bit of tip-to-tip technique. So I'm using the BG13 as the darkest and then the BG11 as the lightest. And I'm going to come in and use some yellows. So I wanted their hair to be the same. I really wanted to limit myself to, I think it was 4 different colors only for each of the cards. So I'm going to use the yellows repeatedly in both of the cards. And then for their belts and their little elf shoes, I'm going to use some gray markers to have them be sort of a black color, but I am going to go over those with some silver stickles once I get the card done. So here's all of my pieces for the two separate cards. And now I'm going to create the background. So I'm using this makeup brush. This is similar to the amazing, I forget what it's called, the Amazing New Tools by Picket Fence Studios, but these are some really inexpensive ones that I grabbed off of Amazon, and I will link the ones that I have below. So I wanted to create a really soft background. I wanted the images to really pop in these cards. So I'm using some shaded lilac here for my non-traditional card, and then I used tea dye for what would be the ground, kind of like a wood floor, but it matches the brown color that I used in the little images. So I'm just wiping that off with a baby wipe, and then I'm going to let that dry. So that came out really nice and soft. For the green one, I'm using Lucky Clover, and it's a much darker color. You can see that it doesn't blend as well here. I get quite a bit of streaking, but I kept going with it, and you'll see how I'm going to fix that. I did come in off screen with the Distress blending tool to blend it a little bit more with the ink that I just had left over as residue on my foam pad. But here's where I'm going to fix this. So I used my Distress sprayer, added some water, and then I'm using a microfiber cloth, and I'm actually going to blend the background with the microfiber cloth, and that gives me the nice soft look that I was trying to achieve. So I'm going to bring in the My Kitchen stamp set by the Greeting Farm. I wanted to use these little cabinets almost as like cabinets or like an island to set my scene. So first I thought it's a Christmas card, I'm going to add some shimmer. So I'm using my shimmer spray there. And now I'm going to start creating my scene. So you can see the cards are somewhat similar, but they are different. I used a different combination of the little cabinets here for each of the cards. So one has the 2-door cabinet, and then on the other one it has 2 of the 2-door cabinets and only 1 of the open cupboard door. So this is going to be kind of the center point of the scene for this card. This process video is a lot of just putting the scene together. It did take me 45 minutes to do the backgrounds and add all the images in real time. So that's not including all the coloring, which took me probably over an hour or a couple hours for both of the images, well, both of the card images. So here's where I'm kind of setting my scene. So I'm using similar items here to the left-hand side. I'm using the wrapping paper, the little boy elf, and the train to the left of both of these card panels. I'm going to add the little nice list to the little girl elf for both of the cards, and I'm going to put her on the right-hand side. For this one on the left, I kind of put her down, I think, a little bit too far. So I am going to add her up a little bit higher for the right-hand card that I'm going to make. So my inspiration for this, like I said, was to really limit myself to only 4 different colors for each of the cards, and I thought it would be fun to do a non-traditional Christmas palette and then a traditional Christmas palette just to see how they turned out. So I'd be really interested to know which one ends up being your favorite. By the end of this card, my fingers were full of glue. I could have used tweezers, but I just felt like it would be something else to kind of get in the way. So I have this little open box here, and I'm adding the ribbon to the top of the box, the lid of the box, I guess. I'm going to add the red one here to the one on the right. Now when I first put this down, I didn't realize it, but it's not even touching the floor. So I am going to fix that up so it looks like the top of the box is resting on the floor beside the open box. Here's where I'm going to fix that now. So I just need to add a little bit more glue, and then I'll get that into a better position. So I'm just kind of leaving my stamp block on the images to get them to adhere nicely to the card base. I decided to add a third elf, and I have him on top of the counter. So they're having lots of fun getting all the Christmas toys ready. So I'm going to add that one there, and then I'm going to add a little girl elf, and I'm going to place her to the right-hand side of that card because she's facing to the left, where I put him on the left-hand side of the card because he's facing to the right. So now I'm going to add some images here, and here's where I kind of switch things up just because of where the elves are placed on the little countertop here. So I'm going to add this ribbon. I do have a second one, but I don't have a place to put it as of yet. I'm going to add a little hot cocoa mug here and the scissors, which I think are absolutely adorable, along with the tape dispenser. And what I like about this stamp set is you could use those little images throughout the year. A lot of them actually, particularly the box, the gift box could be for anything, and the little scissors and the mugs and the tape dispenser. It could make a really cute crafty card. So I'm just placing these along the top of the counter. I was able to fit 2 of the ribbon spools on the right hand card. I'm going to add the little drum set, and I've already added the little duck toy to this one. I'm going to have the elf holding the doll on this card, and then I'm going to add the drum and the little teddy bear in front of the purple box, just so that they're a little bit different. It was super fun putting these cards together, and I absolutely love the way they came out. I really love doing scene cards to begin with, but when there's so many different things on them or to play with, it was a ton of fun. So I added that second ribbon spool to the little elf's hand. Now I'm adding some candy canes to their hands. I gave this little bear a candy cane over here. I'm just trying to use up all the elements that I had colored. So now I'm going to add the sentiment, and this says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." So cute. So I'm going to use the same sentiment on both the cards. I'm just making sure that the elf isn't too high for the sentiment to fit, but it fit perfectly. So I'm going to stamp those, and then I'm going to do the inside of the cards, which I use the sentiment, may you get everything you want. May you get everything you wish for. And then I had two little pieces left. I had a mug and a candy cane, so I added that to the inside of the card. I am going to trim the inside panels down with a scalloped rectangle die. You see me use this die a lot. It's by MFT. So here's what the card panels look like for the inside once they're done. So this is a side folding card just because I already had this card base cut, and this is a top folding card. And I'm just going to get that into place. I had so much glue on my fingers. I was getting it everywhere. I really should have stopped and washed my hands, but I didn't. So I'm just going to use my Teflon bone folder here just to make sure that those cards are laying flat. I'm trying not to get my fingers in the Versafine ink. Here's where I'm going to add the silver stickles to their belts and their shoes. I just wanted to have a little bit more shine on the card, but not too much. The only other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add some Nuvo drops in the white color to the little pom-poms on the elves hat on the traditional Christmas card. And that will finish it up. So I hope you enjoyed these cards today. Oh, one last thing. I noticed I hadn't colored her little top of her hat here. At first I thought I was going to leave them all white, but I colored the other ones, so I decided to color that one up as well so it matched. So let me know which one is your favorite. Are you more of a non-traditional Christmas color person, or do you like the traditional one? Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.